Hello, good morning, family and friends. How are you today? My name is Praise Boy, and welcome to Pfthinks from Praise Boy International Studios, Lagos, Nigeria. I am super excited to be coming your way again today. And thank you so much, my 3 a.m. Crew in Nigeria and other African countries. And for those of you who are still on Monday, for those of you on my North African audience, I want to say thank you so much for joining me every now and then. I never take for granted the fact that you guys are awake or you even go out of your way to join my session. Now, today, I start a new journey into what I've titled Releasing Your Personal Power. Releasing Your Personal Power. Why am I running this series? I know people know me as a family life practitioner. I work with complex families and I work with to help people attain the wellness and the belief they desire in their relationship, be it marital, be it organizational, and be it personal. Now, one of the things that has been established in marriage is the fact that the quality of your marriage cannot be better than the quality of the two people involved. The big problem, however, is most of the time the people involved have been compromised. Now, the moment your sanity is compromised, a lot of things will go wrong. So, a lot of people want to make marriages work, they want to make their lives better, but they lack the capacity to make their life better because their personal power has been compromised. Now, the moment you do not understand that there's a power within you, the power to do, power to create, power to visualize, then a whole lot of things is going to go wrong because you're now going to be led by the power without, and the power without will sabotage the power within. That is why consistently over the years I have defined happiness as the ability to create and to sustain and retain and protect the heaven within you in a way that makes the hell without you loses its power over you, loses power over you. The ability to create, sustain, retain, and protect the heaven within you in a way that the power without you loses its power over you. Now, that is what I've called happiness, which means happiness must stem from within. It cannot be without. The moment you allow externalities to define your happiness, you will realize that consistently you are going to be in pain, which is why everyone who ran into marriage hoping the marriage will make them happy, they became disappointed to realize that no human being can make you happy if you are not happy within you. So I want you to be ready for a long ride in this session because I am going to be challenging a lot of the things that people believe. I have had to challenge many of the things I have believed over time that has not produced results. The moment you have done something over and over and over again, and it has not produced the results you were promised or has not delivered what you thought it could deliver, it is your responsibility and prerogative as a human being to challenge it, to check it. Could it be that you didn't get the concept right, or could it be that your interpretation of the concept is wrong? Now, it's something we all owe ourselves. The problem is when a human being becomes loyal to what has not worked or becomes very dogmatic about what has not produced result. So it did not produce result for your great grandfather, did not produce result for your great grandfather, it did not produce result for your father. Now you are 40, it has not produced result for you. You are observing all the people in your life, it has not produced result for them. However, there is something else that is producing result, not to even try to troubleshoot or fact find what has a credibility track record of working now makes you in a human, that a human being must be able to grow, develop, observe, challenge, change his mind, change his beliefs when his beliefs cannot produce a result that he has been promised or what is convinced the beliefs can produce. Are we together? Now, it's been defined that insanity is doing the same thing the same way and expecting a different result. It doesn't work. So, how do you release your personal power? Or have you even realized your personal power? Now, I'll take a quote by J.Z. Colby, and that's what I'm starting with. J.Z. Colby said, personal power is the ability to stand on your own 2 feet with a smile on your face in the middle of a universe that contains a million ways to crush you. I love that. Personal power is the ability to stand on your own 2 feet with a smile on your face in the middle of a universe that contains a million ways to crush you. That if you're on this planet, the planet is poised, is designed to crush you. It's designed to crush your personal power because the more confused you are, the more the creators of the systems, the more are happy because as long as you're confused, you will depend on the owners of the system. Now, and as long as you depend on the owners of the system, that is the business because they will perpetually depend on your income for the rest of their life. And nobody loves to lose the goose that lays the golden egg, right? What you can do is to manage the goose, enjoy the goose, feed the goose, and ensure that it's alive to continue to lay the golden egg. Is the way the world is structured, there is nothing you can do about it. What, however, you have the power to do is to create your own system and ensure that you are not a victim of what you do not understand. Now, personal power is the ability to stand on your feet or with a smile on your face in the middle of a universe that contains a million ways to crush you. Imagine you're standing in the midst of an army and you are smiling. If you are smiling, it's either you have signed a covenant that you are going to die, or you know something that most people do not know. If you watch American movies, you will see this happen over and over again, where an actor is smiling in the midst of calamity. In fact, I think the Bible alludes to that at calamity you will laugh. Not because you want to laugh, but because you have discovered something that the average human being have not discovered. Now, the secrets of the universe, when you become a custodian of the secrets of the universe, what makes people agitated will make you laugh. Why? Because you know it's going to end. That patterns are predictors of a future. That if you're a student of history, then a lot of things will not shock you because there is nothing new, right? You only have, the old things happening to new people, and that's why they think it's new, right? So J.Z. Colby had said the personal power is your ability to stand on your own 2 feet with a smile on your face in the middle of the universe that seeks to crush you. Now, I want to admonish you or challenge you or advise you that for the purpose of this series, I want you to allow your imagination to run wild because your life is about to begin. Yeah, that is one thing I'm going to guarantee you. Your life is just about to start. So, can you take a deep breath? Because this is a long ride. Breathe out. Take a deeper breath and breathe out. Now, I want you to breathe in joy. I want to breathe out sadness. I want you to take in power. I want you to breathe out weakness. Okay, we're ready to go. Now, I have studied everyone that people want to be like, even though sometimes they pretend they hate them. An average person listening to me wants power to control life, want power over finances. We want power to have options. So you want to be able to wake up tomorrow and go to anywhere you want, go anywhere you want to go, without necessarily going to the routine checks at the airport. So maybe you want a private jet, even though you speak against people who own private jet. You want the power to be able to go to the resort of your choice and enjoy with your family for the next 1 year and not bother about bills. Who doesn't want the power? If you want that power, say hi. You can type I in there. Okay. Everybody wants that power. But oftentimes when we see the people who have that power, we load them, talk down against them. One of the things I've learned early enough in life is never to talk down whatever is working. Right? Even if I don't understand what is making it work, the fact that it's working, I have learned to acknowledge it and to appreciate it. Because if God wants to make something happen for you, it makes it happen in your environment to test your reaction. If your reaction is to lower it and talk it down, you cut yourself from the flow of that power. If your reaction is to praise the custodians of that system and to thank God for them, you attract it. It's a symbol of attraction. Now, so when you hear names like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Tesla, you hear names like Thomas Edison, Jose Mourinho, Mark Zuckerberg, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, Lionel Messi, Dangote, right? When you hear such names, it evokes all kinds of feelings, all kinds of emotions. Are we together? Now, people, depending on the version of the story that you've heard, you either hate them or you like them. You cannot be in between, right? So there is a school of thought that believe, oh, all these people are going to hellfire because they don't believe what you believe. Now, that is your belief, right? None of us has been to heaven before to know what God is going to do at the end of the day. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't believe something. I believe something. I'm a Christian, right? Now, however, I am not in the position of God to determine who goes to hellfire or not, right? Now, many of these people are hated, maligned, blackmailed, but they became indispensable to others like water and air. If any human being, I mean, we Christians believe that no man can have anything except to be given by God. If a mortal, a human being born like you, the same way you were born by a mother, went through all kinds of situations to become indispensable to your world by creating a solution that has made the world a better place, or maybe people have used it to destroy themselves, it's their business. God sends rain, people believe, but the same rain can destroy people if we are not careful. God sends water. I mean, anything that is good can be used badly, right? It depends on the user. Now, many of these people, names that I've mentioned, they became indispensable to our world. We don't like some of them, but we can't but talk about them. Neither can we deny their results. So you like Bill Gates, you don't like Bill Gates, you are going to use Microsoft. You like Thomas Edison, you don't like Thomas Edison, you're going to like the bulb. You like Mark Zuckerberg, you don't like him, you're on Facebook. You like Lionel Messi, you don't like him, you're going to watch him play. Now, if this is life, you don't like them, but they are on your radar. There are people's music you don't even like, but you dance to them. You hear them. Everywhere you turn, you feel them. How are they able to develop themselves? Now, this is not about right and wrong. How are they able to become indispensable to people? What power do they have? The conclusion of many of us is that they are using something. Trust me, you are right. However, you may be wrong. All of us are using something. What you're using is the difference. Now we have been brainwashed or made to believe that there's an extra power that they are using. I'm not here to argue with you. If there's an extra power they are using that is making them rule the world, that is making them indispensable, but you say that you have a power that is above all powers, and you are not ruling the world, invariably what you are saying is that their own power is above your own power that you claim is above every power. Because if their own power is making them indispensable to you, then your power must be inferior if it cannot put you above them. I'm not talking about cliche, I'm talking about data, and I'm talking about science, right? Now, if you say you have a power, your power cannot cure headache. Someone else has a power, consistently cures headache. That person is more powerful than you, whichever way you want to look at it. God is, however, not short. You are the one that doesn't understand the way things work. Now, in fact, I have never met one person who is truly successful, who was loved by all. So in case you are not living your life because you want everyone to love you, congratulations and welcome to failure, because you're never going to succeed. People will hate you because if you have met truly successful people, they will step on toes. People will load them. People will say all kinds of things against them, but that's exactly what makes them tick. They are not perfect, but their imperfection has not stopped them from becoming who they should be. The challenge with you is that you care so much about the people liking you, what people you have surrendered your life to, what they say about you. You love them so much, who even though they don't care about you, you love them so much to surrender your life to them, and that's the only reason you are not living. The only reason you are not living is that you have allowed all kinds of things into your head, into your brain, that you call beliefs. I have said that your beliefs is not often the truth. Your beliefs are what you have held to be true. So here are a couple of fundamentals. Number one, everyone wants power, but not everyone will be powerful. If you are listening to me this morning, you want power, true or true? True, right? Are you powerful? Then it's left for you to answer that. Everybody wants power, because if you don't want power, you won't go to work. Why do you want to be rich? Why do you pray to God? God, make me wealthy. There is something you want. You want control over something. When you fall sick, why do you pray to God, heal me? Because you want control over health, right? Why do you, oh, I don't want to lose heaven? Because you want control over hereafter. Everybody wants power, but not everyone will be powerful. Number two, everyone has power, but not everyone will find their power. So that you are not powerful is not that you cannot be powerful. You are not powerful because you have not found your personal power, which can remain dormant in you till you die. It's none of God's problem if you refuse to use your power, because all of us have something. How you use that one thing is another ballgame entirely. There's a guy in Nigeria who began to pack what they call shit in my country. Shit is, when you do the big Joe in the toilet, right? So he began to pack it when you go to excrete, right? He began to pack it, and he says shit business is good business. I mean, when I was growing up, if you do that kind of thing, in fact, they prayed for you never to do that. But he built a $1 million empire around that, and now they are recycling it to generate power somewhere. Now, it depends on how you see what you carry. A lot of us don't even believe in what we carry, because we see other people who are, maybe they are faking it or something, or maybe they are even living their lives, and you assume they are more powerful than you, and you surrender yourself by yourself to their authority when there is no track record that these people have conquered the globe. Maybe their excellence is as a result of your mediocrity, or their wealth is as a result of your poverty, but you could actually check people's net worth online to know the richest people in the world. But these people don't feature there, yet you surrender yourself to them thinking that they're going to make you rich. Everyone has power, but not everyone will find their power. Number three, not because they can't find their power, but because they are programmed to doubt their power. The greatest injustice that has been done to you is the fact that you have been programmed to doubt your power. So you have someone who is sitting on a gold mine, but he doesn't believe he can conquer the world because he's black. You have someone who has a talent that can transform the world, but his history says otherwise. Everyone around him says otherwise. In fact, every time he tries to be himself, there is a voice in his head that says, how can you gain the whole world and lose your soul? When Jesus made that statement, the way what he was talking about is totally different, because he conquered the world. So a lot of people, their quest to become the best version of themselves, they are afraid of making mistakes. They are afraid of losing their soul. They are afraid of so many things, so they never move. The people who are ready to die are the ones who win the world. Except a grain of wheat falls down and dies, it doesn't abide. The way of life is the way of death. Check any plant, check any crop, it must first die before it can resurrect and live. So a lot of us have been programmed to doubt our power. So you think, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, but you doubt that little light, and you do not believe it can lighten the world. So when you encounter something in your closet that you believe this thing can help people, what do? You begin to look up to other people, and you say, wow, this person knows it more than me. Let me keep quiet about what I have. And that's why you are no longer, you're nowhere to be found in the scheme of things across the globe. So do you doubt the power you carry? The tragedy of power is to start to search outside of you for what can only be found within you. That's the tragedy of power. That a lot of you are searching for solutions outside of you. You are looking for power. You want to join something. You want every movement you have joined has not made you powerful. You were promised all kinds. If you join us, you're going to be powerful. You're going to have power over death, power over life. Every religion promises that. Have you become powerful? The answer is no. Right? So if everything you've been promised is not producing the result that you truly want, isn't it time for you to step aside a bit and pause and check it again and ask questions that human beings should ask? That if you search for what is trapped within outside of you, you are going to be lost. And that is where many of us are. You are actually lost, even though you are willing to admit that you are lost. You are lost inside religion. You are lost inside culture. You are lost inside tribe. You are lost even within yourself. But you are unwilling to admit that you are lost. So you keep up with the Joneses because, after all, there are so many of us who are lost. So why would I stand aside and now lose their company? Even if that company is jogging all of us to hellfire, we don't care, right? We're just willing to keep up with the Joneses. The beauty of power, however, is that no one became truly powerful who never leveraged on the power from within. There is no human being in history who became powerful without leveraging on the power within. So you want to call it Mark Zuckerberg? He leveraged on the power within to produce Facebook. You want to call him Bill Gates? He leveraged on power within to produce Microsoft. You want to talk about Steve Jobs? He leveraged on the power within to create Apple. Name anyone at all who has become powerful. They all leverage on the power within. But guess what? You are trying to leverage on the power without you. And that's why it looks like you are invincible in the scheme of things, right? It looks like everything you want is not coming to pass and your age is timing out, right? Now, the moment you fail to harness the power within you, you will depend on the power without you for the rest of your life. That's why you're going to write exams for the rest of your life. That's why you're going to take certification programs for the rest of your life. That's why you're going to move from seminar to seminar. Even though the seminars are contradicting themselves, you are going to keep attending for the rest of your life. That's why you will move from one speaker to another for the rest of your life. Why? Because you are not willing to step aside and enjoy your own personal company and discover what resides within you. Let me tell you, if you don't master this series, marriage will be very useless to you. In fact, you will create more problem in marriage because you will step into marriage without personal power. And the moment you step into marriage without personal power, you will live at the mercy of someone else for the rest of your life. The beauty of marriage is when the two people can come in with their personal power and leverage to become interdependent on each other to create a world that is powerful. Imagine if at the point of courtship, you are already a billionaire, your spouse is a billionaire, your intended is a billionaire. What are you guys going to be discussing? You're going to be discussing how to buy up Lagos, how to buy up Japan. You're going to be discussing how to buy up businesses, how to invest. You are not going to be talking about, so when we marry now, who will be doing the cooking? When we marry now, as a woman, you are the one that will be doing the cooking. Or you must stay at home to raise children. Those are, it won't feature. Those things feature in our discussion because of gross poverty and because of powerlessness. So when we don't discover our personal power, we try to dominate other people and we try to suppress and subject them to begin to do mundane things that the human mind can actually create solutions to or that money can solve. So, for example, who should cook? Money can solve that problem because you can hire the best chef if you have power to hire. But the fact that you don't have power to hire, you are going to delegate it to another human being and make that human being do it. And you will say it's the role of a woman or it's the role of a man. I'm the breadwinner and blah, 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 blah. All those things don't matter if you are powerful. Now, so an average human being would rather have relationship with everyone else except the power within this morning and go have a personal intercourse with yourself, mental intercourse, person to discover your personal power and to unravel the power that resides within you. Now, what is the power that is trapped within you? That's the only question I've come to ask because I'm just trying to lay foundation for what is going to be a long ride. What is the power that is trapped within you? Facebook was trapped inside Mark Zuckerberg, he brought it out. Microsoft was trapped inside Bill Gates, he brought it out. People are creating stuff, right? They have jokes trapped inside of them. They become comedians. In Nigeria, my country, you have a guy called Alibaba. You have Kenny Black. You have all kinds of people. These were people unknown 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But by leveraging on their personal power, they've scaled to a reasonable height. They can do better than what they're doing right now. But there is a power that resides within you. Let me shock you. If I had slept, this is 128th episode of Pfthinks. If I had been sleeping 3 a.m. every day, I'm not doing this, right? It would never have invalidated the fact that I had the power to do this, but I chose to sleep. right? I could have slept and nobody will miss anything. You have continued to live your life and do something else, but it would not have meant that I had the power to sustain a daily show for 1 year, right? It would just have meant that I did not have a session with myself to discover the power. And guess what? I would have been waking up maybe to listen to other people. You have the power to be. That power to be is called identity. And nobody can give your identity to you but you. That's why it's called personal development, not corporate development, which means you need to take responsibility for it. Everybody wants to be, I want to be, I want to be, but they are running away from their identity because their identity often contradicts what the powers that be have said. This is right, this is wrong, this is the way human beings should live, this is the way human beings should behave, this is the way, they have lived their life within those ambits of rules and regulations that they've lost themselves. So I see a lot of ladies who want to wear ankle chain, but they are not wearing ankle chain because of what people will say. So every time they see someone who wears it, they love it, and their response is to talk it down, right? They say, this person must be carnal. Meanwhile, they love it. That's exactly what they want to do. But because of what people will say, they are not willing to live their life. Power to be is identity. Number two, power to do. There is a power to do within you. So there is a power to be within you, which is your identity. And nobody can give your identity to you. If I point a gun at your head and I say, describe you, you know your name, but your name is not you, right? Do you know who you are? Number two is the power to do. You have the power to do within you, which is your talent. Every human being has been given a talent, but not everyone will recognize their talent. In fact, one of the greatest destroyers of talent is school. Or education, no, it's school actually, not education, because education is not school, right? Education, that thing called certificate, has so messed up people that they've lost their personal power. Let me shock you. I studied accounting. I have never worked with my accounting degree for 1 day, not 1 day. I don't even know anything about it anymore. But everything I have used since I left school in the year 2000 thereabout, everything I've used is the power of my talent, the power to do. Everyone has got it, but talent must become skills, because skills are processed talent. You need to put in insane work in the gym of your personal life to begin to process your talent into skills that everyone wants to use. So power to do is in your talent. What is your talent? Then there's a power to create. Power to create is in your imagination. And someone has said imagination is the only nation you're permitted to travel without a visa. Right? That the power to imagine. This is a big problem for people in Africa. You know why? Meditation is not part of our culture. In the Middle East, meditation is a culture. In Israel, in UAE, in Japan, in China, meditation is a way of life. In Africa, we talk meditation, but we do not meditate, because the true concept of meditation is what you are going to challenge and call demonology, or you are saying abstract traveling, or whatever you want to call it, right? So the power to create is in your imagination. The average human being listening to me will struggle to sit still without their mind wandering for 5 minutes. If you're listening to me this morning, you cannot quiet your heart, your mind, for 5 minutes without drifting. You have been captured. Congratulations. You have been captured, and you need to free yourself, because it means that you are not comfortable within yourself to think your thoughts, love yourself, sit still with yourself, and enjoy yourself in a state of serenity, or a level of consciousness called awareness. Power to create is in your imagination. Your imagination is actually your passport to the future. The moment you can't imagine, I see a lot of people, they cram what they are taught, what they are told, they regurgitate what their speakers in their life have said, but they cannot bring themselves to question what they are being told. Even when what they are being told is not correct, they will still defend it with the rest of their life. The power to imagine is the power to create. So if you can sit still and imagine yourself creating a solution that the whole world is using, and enjoy it and be lost in your imagination, you cannot conquer the world, and you're not going to be powerful. The moment you begin to imagine it, you begin to see it, visualize it, that's the power to create. That's the power that created the whole world. God imagined everything and he called it forth. right? Things are created twice, first within, then without. Now, the next one is the power to blow, or power to arrive, or power to dominate. If you want to call it that way, I use blow because in Nigeria, my country, everybody wants to blow. The power you have been given to blow or to dominate is the power of systems. That answers to systems, which means a combination of imagination skills. Now you need to leverage on a bit of powers outside of you to get that done, because you will need technology, then you will need a group of people, but it's the leadership power in you actually, which is still the power within. That the capacity to lead others, to attract others, the capacity to know what you need and to bring them into your life is the power of system. You need systems to dominate, because if you are taken out, everything is dead. But if you build systems, you will last forever. Bill Gates is not a Nigerian, but he's in Nigeria. Bill Gates is omnipresent with Microsoft. Mark Zuckerberg is omnipresent with Facebook. Coca-Cola owner, founder, is omnipresent with Coca-Cola. Whatever is in your hand can go across the globe depending on the systems you have leveraged on. The last one there is the power to become. The power to become is in your daily routine. I call it personal gymming session. Let me shock you. You need to, yes, I know you go to physical gym to grow six-pack and to stay healthy is fine, but there must be the gymming session of your life that nobody can give you. It's you that must define that routine to say, this routine is what I must do. If I don't do this, then I always say to people that once your action contradicts what you are saying, you are fooling yourself and you are fooling everybody. That if you say, I want to be number one in my sector, and I check your daily routine. It was Dr. Mike Murdoch who said, the secret of your future is in your daily routine. If I check your daily routine and your work ethic is not insane to get you to that end, then you are joking. Which is why Africa love it easy. So you hear smart work, smart work. Our understanding of smart work is the absence of hard work. Let me shock you. I have never seen one man who works smart who doesn't work hard. It doesn't exist. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, mention them, Warren Buffett, they are insane workers. They're all hard workers. So forget that thing that there's smart work. Smart work simply means you need to strike a balance for you to be able to walk through people to do things, to get things done faster. We talked about delegation and what have you. But smart work is not the absence of hard work. There was a man who wrote a book, Retire Rich, Retire Young, Robert Kiyosaki. Kiyosaki is still working. He's not retired. But that book was a big hit in Africa because we all want to run away to heaven where we're not going to work, which is why Africa's concept of heaven is a place where we're going to be singing and be singing. We're going to be sitting down and be singing. Why do we need a choir that will be singing when God already has people surrounding him who are singing? Right? The elders who are singing holy, holy, holy every day. I mean, that's our concept. We love to do nothing. So we would rather want to just get to heaven and join choir and join soprano and be singing, even when you have done nothing on planet Earth. I say to people, well done hereafter is dependent on work done. If you have not done the work, don't expect well done. So power to become is in your routine. Then there's a power to transform, which is the leveler, the common denominator to anything you want to attain. And the power to transform is in your ability to love. The people who innovate, they innovate from a place of love, which is why when you check the mission statements of global conglomerates, right? I mean, global companies of Fortune 500 companies, you will see that their mission statement or their vision statement is different from many of the companies in Africa. So many of our companies or our movements, you will hear to become the largest, to become the biggest, to become the most impactful, to become the forerunner, to become number one. That is the way we craft vision. But if you check many of these, right, you will find Google says our mission is to organize the world's information and make it accessible at a click. And if you check that, it's born out of love. To say, I don't need to begin to buy textbooks to find information when I can just type it and have access to a repertoire of information across the globe. That can only be done outside of love. Mark Zuckerberg, to say that we don't need night posts, we can even call for free, that is from a place of love, right? Microsoft, from a position of love, to say we don't need large mainframe computers, right? And that's why they've endured. Walmart, to make accessible to the poor what the rich can afford, from a place of love. But us to become number one, to become the largest party in Africa, to become, you see it that it's about selfishness and not selflessness, which is why it doesn't last. The power to transform is built on love. That if you innovate, if you have the love of God, the love of humanity in your heart, you will innovate consistently. Every day of my life, I am always talking to the divine power, God Almighty, and say, God, give me another solution for humanity. Which is why every time I see a problem that is family life related, I don't condemn or gist or gossip about it. I get into my closet to meditate and research and bet solution. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. For God so loved the world that he gave us you. But what is your product? For God so loved the world, he gave us Bill Gates that can produce Microsoft. He gave us Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook that makes us communicate with ourselves all over the world. He gave us the Google guys. He gave them to us to create Google to make information accessible. Every time humanity is in pain, God sends a human being to rescue humanity. Question is, have you rescued your world? If you fail to rescue your world, your passport to become powerful is already turned. So which is why you cannot keep jogging around people for the rest of your life, still looking for God to use you at the age of 50, 60, when you can actually sit still and look into the future and ask yourself, what can I create that will transform my world? Now, if you check all the names we've mentioned, I have found something very similar in all they do. Now, and it's against these parameters. I'm going to read it out to you, and you will think about your life in that quest. 1, time invested in their pursuit. All of them full-time. So when people say, come on, you are doing your work is part-time, don't let anybody deceive you out of your work. To say, leave your profession and come and do full-time ministry. Your profession is ministry. Ministry is service. So don't let anybody make you abandon stethoscope in the hospital and go and grab the mic. The world needs more doctors. We need more scientists to innovate solutions, right? We don't need more people in the religious space. We need more people in there. We need more people in politics. So don't let anybody tell you what you are doing is part-time, is your secular job. Excuse me. What you're doing is with God. That's your pulpit. Maximize it, dominate it, become the best of your kind in that sector, and reinvent the sector and make it godly, wherever it is. Right? So you must do your work full-time. Many of us are not doing it full-time. You are doing your own work part-time. You are doing someone else's work full-time. You have been captured. Right? Time invested in their pursuit, be it Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, any of these guys, full-time. Question is, the time you're invested in your own pursuit, in your personal power, is it full-time or part-time? If it's part-time, you're not going to gain power. Number 2, adherence to a dogma or technic dogma or religious dogma. All these guys are absent. It doesn't mean they are not spiritual. They are godly. Some of them are godly. Some of them are spiritual, but they are not religious. And if you can look at the world today, ethnicity and religion are the biggest crisis humanity has had. Right? Because it has killed more potentials, destroyed more people physically than any other thing. However, spirituality, love are the things that God wants us to promote. Number 3, relevance to our world. These guys are all indispensable. When it comes to relevance to our world, you cannot but use Facebook. You cannot but use Google. You cannot but use Microsoft. You cannot. I mean, these guys are indispensable in one way or the other. Dominion over money. All of them live above money. Mark Zuckerberg never wakes up now to say, well, God, I'm trusting you to afford this car. Or God, I'm trusting you to be able to buy a new phone. He doesn't need to trust God to buy a phone. He just buys a phone. Why? He has power over money. Because he has maximized the power that God has given him. It has generated tons and tons and tons of returns that he doesn't need to pray for his child's school fees. If his child says, I want to go to Harvard, he doesn't faith it. That's what many of us faith, right? That we faith what money can handle is already a feedback to us that something is wrong. That includes me. That these guys don't faith sending their children to Harvard. Why do we faith sending our children to Covenant University? Right? Why is it that virtue leaves your body every time you have to pay school fees? Something is not adding up. especially for those of you who are people of faith. Something is not, and we need to accept that we have not gotten something right and act the problem once and for all so that you can live a better life, right? Dominion over money. These guys are above money. Question is, are you above money? Propensity to commit sin. These guys have very, very low threshold of committing sin. That's why you never hear them cheat on their wives. You never hear them, do things that you will classify as sinful, right? They don't backbite. They don't even respond to people who are fighting them. So you realize that the poorer you are, the more your propensity you have to sin, because you have enough time in your hand to gossip, to talk about things that doesn't concern you. You are not busy enough. Imagine you're having business meeting in Japan with business partners, with investors in China. You won't have time to begin to analyze. We have a lot of time. NCDC, NDDC, that. We have time on our hands. When it comes to propensity to commit sins, these guys are very, very low. Many of us have high threshold to commit sin, even with prayer, right? When it comes to social media presence and time spent complaining, these guys are absolutely absent. But what they do is they create the platforms, right? They create the platforms. So social media presence, something is trending. Big Brother, what you will not find Mark Zuckerberg comment. You will not find Bill Gates comment. You will not find all these world powers comment. So social media presence, I want 1,000 followers. It's good. Sometimes they're there to recommend books, right? But many of those accounts are managed by people. They hardly have the time, right? But when it comes to social media presence and time spent complaining, these guys are the owners of the platforms. There are two places to be. You can be a user of the platform, or you can be the owner of the platform. But the owner of the platform is going to be more powerful than the users of the platform. Barcelona is more powerful than Lionel Messi because they are the ones who pay Lionel Messi. Manchester United is more powerful than Anthony Martial, right? So the owners of the platform or systems are more powerful than star players on that system. A hotel is more powerful than all the artists who go to do shows there, right? O2 Arena owner is more powerful than all the people who go to do shows there, right? But the ones who even go to do shows there, they are more powerful than the audience paying to come and watch the show. That's the way life is structured. Open your eyes and open your heart. Now, when it comes to their similarity to God based on their result, omnipotent, sovereign, omnipresent, these guys are very similar to God in result because they have produced every of God's products has passed the test of humanity. Every human being can use it. You don't like God, but you will breathe here. You don't like God, you will drink water. You don't like God, but you will use his land. You will step on the land. These guys have similar expression. You don't like them, you like them, you're going to use their material. When it comes to inheritance for their children's children, a good man leaves inheritance for his children. That's the definition of a good man, according to the Bible, right? It's a done deal for many of these guys. For many of us, we don't even have inheritance for ourselves. So this should begin to make you question a lot of things to now say, am I powerful? What is your result compared to their result? So I love what Moses said. Moses was a reformer, a statesman, a revolutionist who led Israel from Egypt to Canaan. And he made a statement in his book, Deuteronomy. He said, and you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which is sworn to your father. That is the one that gives you the power to get wealth. What that means is, if he's the one that gives you the power, and if you're a factory-fitted product from God, that power must reside in you. If you don't bring it out, it's your problem. Your house may be sitting on a gold mine. If you don't explore the gold underneath your house, you may remain poor till the day someone discovers the gold, right? There was a story that we were told of a guy in Ghana who was very poor. And, he was very poor in the village. And he heard about the city. And he said, oh, I want to go to the city. I want to go to the city. And people say, why are you coming to this? He said, life is in the city. City is where we make it. So what did he do? Is put up his house in the village for sale. And a white guy bought the house from him. And he took off to the city to go for white collar job. While he was in the city, he heard that his village has become very prosperous. That there is a gold refining system in his village, that the largest deposit of gold has been found in his village. By the time he returned to his village, it was like this poor village. He realized that on the same house he sold was where the largest deposit of gold was found. So he sold his power to go and look for power outside of him when the real power is within him. Which is why I love the statement made by Fela Toye that it is not what you have that limits you, it is what you have, but you don't know how to use. It is not what you have that limits you, it's what you have, but you don't know how to use. The power that God has placed in you is not just going to give it to you, it's already in you, it's in your talent, it's in your imagination, it's what you do with it that matters. So, what do you need to do today? Because I'm just doing introduction to this series. One, have a human meeting with yourself after now. I want you to sit with yourself and begin to question your life and begin to question where you are and ask yourself, am I powerful at my age? Now, so have that human meeting with yourself. Number two, where will you end if you don't change something about you today? Let's assume you change nothing about how you've lived life. You continue exactly at the pace, doing the same thing. Will you ever get the result you truly want? Will you ever become a billionaire? Will you ever become a significant person, an influential person? Will you ever conquer the world if you continue at the pace you're doing? Right? If your answer is no, then it's already an instruction to change something. Number three, what is present in you that you have refused to pay attention to or develop? What is it that people talk about and say you do this thing so well that you have not built a business around? What is that thing? You need to answer that question. Number four, if you have done 1, 2, 3, then the next item you need to do is you need to apologize to God and apologize to yourself for doubting your power. Apologize to God, I'm sorry for being a waster of the power you placed in me, and apologize to yourself for being invincible in the scheme of things simply because you have not used your personal power, you have doubted it. Number five, make a commitment to start to develop your power and to start to release it. Make a commitment to start to develop your power and to start to release it. Number six, study people from today. You can go on YouTube and watch autobiographies, watch stories, type Jack Ma, search for him, watch his videos, type Warren Buffett, listen to him, Shimon Peres, all the top icons that you know about, that you hear about, begin to research them. Study people with similar powers to know what they did differently than you. And number seven, do something different today that you have never done before. Do something different today that you have never done before. Do those 7 things and I'll meet you tomorrow. Let me end with a statement, with this quote that says, almost every successful person begins with 2 beliefs. The future can be better than present, and I have the power to make it so. I'll take that again. Almost every successful person begins with 2 beliefs. Belief number 1, the future can be better than the present. And number 2, I have the power to make it so. Let me tell you this, no matter where you are, the future can be better than where you are right now, and you have the power to make it so. Now, if you're a parent, I will say to you, take advantage of the material on promo on my website this month, which is how to totally transform your life and transform your children. It's Wizkid Combo. I am praisforward.com/Wizkid. You can go buy it now. It's $80 thereabout, as against $182 that we normally sell it for. Right? That will transform, take care of your family, and help you heal from the pain, whatever you're being through. Like, I will come back tomorrow and we'll continue this discussion. Let me say this to you, the power is in you. Celebrate your power, accept your power, and become the best that you can ever be. Today should be a solemn day to you. It's not a day to be distant. Avoid distraction. Oh, somebody is fighting somebody. This person has won election, has lost election. It's none of your business yet. You are not even qualified to be commenting yet. Shut down. Find your power again. Develop yourself. Give yourself some time. And a time will come, they will invite you to the table because they cannot do without you. Power resides in you. You, be brilliant, be free. I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, keep loving, keep living. And remember that when you're powerful, your marriage will be powerful. I honor you. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.